The show, everybody. This is the Upper Tier Podcast. It's Wednesday, not Tuesday. Pro Wrestling Weekly. Plenty get through. The panel, the Avengers are assembled. So there we go. We're going to be taking you back through Elimination Chamber, getting the lads' thoughts. We're going to be talking about how the card for WrestleMania is shaping up. We're going to be talking about the most fantastic new inductees into the Hall of Fame. Absolutely stellar. What else have we got in the cards here? We're going to be talking about, well, let me scan down through this. Of course, we'll do our review of Raw. We're going to be talking about what's going to happen next Friday on SmackDown, and also the gauntlet match for the Women's IC belt on Monday Night Raw. And of course, we're going to be talking about Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill, all kicked off the other day on X. And even the locker room started weighing in. The locker room got worked. We got worked. The whole wrestling world got worked. Make sure you check out Brent's short as well. He dropped a short on it today. Even Brent maybe got a little bit worked. Gentlemen, how are we?
Grand.
Very good.
Lovely.
That's it. Jesus
Jubbly.
Christ. We get one of the best episodes on Raw in about a year or more. And this is it. Fuck me, like a few.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll quote Keith. Yeah, I'm grand. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this show today, to be honest with you.
Let's play it back. Niall, I'm fantastic. Raw was brilliant. Elimination Chamber had some hits, a few misses. Let's get started. Better?
Bit much.
Much better. That's it. Bit of energy, lads. Baz is in the comments as always. Big up, Baz. Hope you are good, my friend. What you see on the screen there, folks, is a little bit of self-promotion, if you like. This is for
shameless plugging.
Europe's premier wrestling store, found at the top floor of Stevens Green Shopping Centre. And all these t-shirts will be available in the River Bar from Friday morning. No, sorry, Wrestling Mania from Friday morning. So make sure if you're looking for any of those shirts, some of them have already getting scooped up, as they say. We have a number of people going to Comic-Con this weekend who were looking for a number of shirts, so that should be interesting. No less one girl is going as Alexa Bliss, so you know what shirt she's picking up. So there you go. That's all in there. They're all going to be in stock from Friday morning. Limited quantities as always, because we are the Brown Thomas of pro wrestling. But if all I can say is that's it. We have some good wrestling history as well. I had some nice wrestling history for Sean Mack, but he won't make it tonight. Sean, hope you're feeling well. Sean O'Rourke won't make it either, as far as I know. Emma says she's going to be on, but we haven't heard from her yet, so hopefully she gets on shortly. Dave Kelly is in the house as well. Big up, Dave. Hope you and the girls are good. Right, so let's get into the show. Enough of this self-promotion. But if you do want one of them, hit me up on Instagram. There we go. Right, lads. Elimination Chamber. Brian, take us off. Inside the cage. Inside the chain. What's happening?
Like I said, look, Elimination Chamber it was one of those things where it was predictable. Some of the predictions were worth it. Like, I think you said it today in your short about the way we kind of knew it was Seth Rollins behind the mask, but how they execute it. It was all about the execution, and that was fantastic. It was brilliant. Look, another thing you said in another one of your shorts about Danhausen is I'm delighted to see Danhausen in the WWE as well. I think he's deadly. I think he's hilarious. And in fact, how they should have introduced him exactly what they did on Raw. He should have just walked into frame, and he should have just cursed Dominic, and that's it. Look, that's Raw. We'll get to that. Other than that, Randy Orton winning was a bit of a surprise. I thought Cody was going to win, but Randy winning suits me because Cody's winning the belt on Friday anyway, so everybody's a winner.
Careful. You'll only get more upset again. The tears will be flowing again. This is the third time now you're going to die on that hill again.
I did mention hills on the Bren NXT earlier on. But look,
you're so consumed about Drew and Cody that you've forgotten about one werewolf, Jacob Fatu, and what he might do in the match. But go ahead. Sorry, Elimination Chamber.
Don't do it to me. Look, I think we can all agree we had the watch along. The watch along was brilliant. It was good crack. There wasn't a bad match on the card, in my opinion. All the matches were really, really good. Were they pay-per-view quality? No. Were they everything a Raw should be, or a SmackDown? Absolutely. But listen, the surprise, the predictable surprise was really cool. The Danhausen thing, it's kind of set him up. I thought it set him up for failure, but as long as they do their little Raw thing and continue to do something like that, we're all right. I am absolutely over the moon Rhea Ripley won. Happy for Randy Orton. CM Punk, that was never in doubt. And yeah, look, AJ Lee, all in all, it was an okay event. But like I said, Seth Rollins made it. What did you all think?
Big up Dan. Make sure, folks, before you get into this, Dan Dolan, check him out. Start following him. If you've seen his mountain biking videos, they are absolutely insane. Check out Dan. He's on TikTok and on Instagram. Make sure
I
you check him
seen
out.
one of
Big up,
those
Dan.
videos in the shop the other day. Oh my god!
He showed me one the other day with a GoPro on a guy's helmet, man.
Noel, I can't even cycle in a straight line, and this prick's doing fucking somersaults on a hill. Not prick, sorry, Dan.
You walk into the shop sideways, near alone down the mountain on the mountain.
How do we do this again?
That Razor Ramon shirt on you.
Niall, if you've seen the rest of his team and work, you'd understand why he does that.
Yeah, absolutely. Sean O'Rourke in the comments. How are you, Sean? Hope you are good. Are we still on course for a certain show tomorrow? Should I be mentioning it or should I stay quiet? Nice to see the Spice Girls back together. I'm telling you,
absolutely.
all the Swifties, isn't that what they call them? Swifties. There
We're all Swifties. How are you, Keith?
Back on the dating game with the Swifties. Keith, Elimination Chamber.
However, Elimination Chamber. I actually enjoyed it. To be honest with you, predictable pay-per-view, but I still enjoyed it. The women's match for me is probably the best. I have to say of all of them. I don't know what they're going to do now with Becky and AJ Lee. Are they going to continue on with that until Mania? I don't know what's happening there. The Randy Orton was the perfect decision. I'm so glad they went with Randy Orton. They didn't go with Cody, to be quite honest. The Danhausen thing, look, I think our expectations were so high that we wanted to see someone really come out from that box and that crate. And obviously it was Danhausen. Look, I actually liked him on Raw. I thought he was quite funny on Raw. So they didn't really debut him the right way, but going forward, I think they probably will push him in the right direction. And I would actually like to see him on SmackDown with R-Truth. I think that'd be hilarious, to be quite honest with you, something there with him. The CM Punk thing, good match, predictable. The AJ Lee and Becky Lynch match was good for a match that she hasn't been in or done in 10 years or something like that. So overall, I thought it was a good, solid, decent show, to be honest with you. There was not really any bad matches in it.
Yeah, before I go to Dave, I kind of felt for me that it was the crowd were so disappointing. Like, I have to say, CM Punk's entrance was different gravy.
Oh, yeah.
When that Alan Parsons hit, like, it was just, I was expecting Michael Jordan and all to walk out of him. And then when they had the announcer and everything else, it was absolutely phenomenal. But, like, you could hear the pin drop. And this is their own boy. This is fucking Chicago. This is the second city saint. This is Chicago Bulls. This is Michael Jordan. This is Alan Parsons. And everyone was sitting on their goddamn hands. What was going on, Chicago? Where was the Chicago crowd that you all talk and preach about? It was horrific. Go ahead, Dave.
The worst Chicago crowd of all time.
Oh,
go ahead, Dave.
Man, I was there. I was at Ring of Honor shows there and WrestleMania 22, and it was hopping. That was really poor the other night. That roof should come off that building with that Alan Parsons, that Cyrus hit. My God, how did it not come off the roof? The roof not come off the building. It was insane. Go ahead.
Elimination Chamber. What do we say? Randy was the surprise, but probably the biggest pop for me was Randy winning the Chamber. Because if he's gone for 15, you know, like Keith said before last year, when we're aging out of top talent at the moment, Randy's one of them that's on his final run now at the moment. If you're going to give him 15, I'm not against it whatsoever. If you're going to do it at Mania, absolutely. Perfect stage for him to get his 15th title. CM Punk against Finn. I know we all got a little, well, probably only me, but there was that little bit of hope that Finn maybe would cause an upset, but Punk obviously retained. We're going to get Punk versus Roman. AJ Lee against Becky. I maybe thought that Becky would retain, so we get something at Mania between the two of them. I have a feeling this Jessica Carr situation is going to push them towards Mania, but in a stipulation match. I don't know whether it'll be a street fight. I don't know whether it'll be a, falls count anywhere, but pretty much the same thing. I would like to see that. A little more brutality between the two of them. And the promos, although cringy as they are, I think they can do a lot better promo-wise. They both can. Delighted to see Seth Rollins back. Welcome back, Seth Rollins. It's been torture not having him. It's been torture not having him on the shows. especially on Raw. Now that he's turned face as well, he's done it at the perfect time where we need someone face running into Mania. Randy Orton winning for me kind of puts Friday on a bit of a knife edge. You don't know which way it's going to go because you can't have Cody versus Randy, two faces going into Mania. It doesn't really work well for me. If there's an interference on Friday and we get Randy versus Drew, happy days. The promos alone will sell that match. Danhausen, I think he's got to bring that little bit of entertainment that's been lacking in WWE, that little bit of what R-Truth used to bring consistently, though, because obviously you're not. R-Truth used to do it quite often, every week on Raw, especially when he come out and say, "Oh, I'm going to do this in the matches he wasn't even booked in." You know that little funny comic relief.
That kind of Ron Simmons role, isn't it? That damn kind of role.
Yeah. He's got to bring a lot of that to the shows. I can't wait to see what they do with him. There was a theory online that they're potentially booking Danhausen to pull the strings backstage, using his courses and all to manipulate storylines, and I thought that's bloody genius. If they get this guy to almost like course everyone or be the manipulator of certain storylines in the mid card, they're hitting a home run with that. But overall, look, the watch along was great. The show was solid. I wouldn't say it was fantastic, but it was definitely entertaining and solid. The crowd, we complained about the crowd for the whole thing, and rightly so. They were absolutely diabolical. I can't believe a crowd in Chicago showed up for a pay-per-view where Punk was defending his world title and we got fucking crickets. No, sorry, can't do it. But overall, yeah, really enjoyed it.
Is the question for you, whoever wants to take it, this thing we're having with the crowds at the moment, we get it in Europe because the crowds in Europe, because they're starved, they're more up for it and stuff like that, and they take off. Is it the crowds in America? There's a lot of discontent at the moment there with the product, with the pricing, with the ESPN Plus, with all the fucking shit they have to pay and everything else that they're pounding up. These quiet crowds, especially in these strong wrestling hubs, the likes of a Chicago and stuff like that, is this the crowd like biting back at the Fed and trying to send a message, or is it genuinely a bad crowd? What's your general thinking on that?
It's a bad crowd for me. I think it's the people who can afford the tickets are sitting in them seats, and the people who can afford them tickets are not necessarily the hardcore that would pop and know the backstories and know the storylines. You have families bringing their kids along where the parents probably don't know what's going on. You can't really hear a kid roar as much as you would an adult crowd. I genuinely just think the people who can afford to go are not necessarily the hardcore that would pop for what we expect. In some cities, that's the case, where you go to a New York, go to MSG. No matter what you do in MSG, you know the crowd's going to be hot for it. The New York crowd are just unmatched. In Europe, as you said, we're starved. People have to pay the money, otherwise you're not going to a WWE event. Simple as that.
I felt the other night, remember me and you the other night were cracking up at this guy with the sign. I got delayed. I arrived late because of traffic. What time is Luger versus the Tank on it? That's kind of why I kind of felt that way, that maybe the crowd were trying to send a message. Rather, maybe they were trying to shit on it a little bit. I wasn't too sure, because when you see signs like that, you know that guy's been thinking about that.
Oh,
now. Probably since he lost his balls in Vegas last year.
But is there enough of them people in that crowd is the question. That's my problem with it.
But see, you don't need many. You only need a couple of little pockets, and that sets the narrative. Because remember, if you think about it, when they were coming up the aisle for that pay-per-view as well, the only guy that was popping was you had your man displaying these signs, and on the other side you had a guy in a ref shirt who was losing his mind, who obviously got let out on weekend release or something like that. This lad was literally horizontal over the barrier at one stage. You know what I mean? So
I love that.
By his toes, you know, so pretty cool. Loved him getting into it. But I don't know, you know, I wasn't too sure. Darren's in. I agree completely. The wrong people are sitting in the seats. That's a shout. That's definitely a shout.
Yep.
And something that badly needs to be addressed.
The product as well. A lot that the fans just don't care, because we've been getting so much shy for the last couple of weeks.
If they don't care where they're going, that's my.
If they don't care, they don't go. I think Dave's analysis hit the head on the, and obviously Darren saying what he said. It's a lot of people that can afford the tickets and put up a hashtag on Instagram for those likes and for look where I am. I'm at another event. It's not. Yeah, it's a bad kind of. It's a terrible way to watch an event when the crowd is dead. It's just, as we witnessed, it's terrible.
darn it again. Look at how long they spend looking in the crowd at these celebs or that celeb, etc.
Yeah.
It's a load of bollocks.
A lot of them we
Absolutely.
don't even know, those celebs. That's the funny thing.
And like I
Really.
said before, Keith, you can be famous in the States without being famous worldwide. You can be a multi-hundred millionaire and have 15 Grammys in the States and never see the outside of the country. Like, it's crazy.
And they're very clever in the way they do it, because it tends to be the local people as well. So very familiar with a large pocket of the crowd, if you like, you know.
It's all Netflix and UFC as well. The majority of the people ringside are either NBA, Netflix, or UFC, because there's a tie in there.
I know we're not going to tackle this, and it's probably too early to tackle it, but I wonder how they're going to handle the whole Jelly Roll thing. Because they've invested a lot of time in Jelly Roll, and they've invested even him being in the ring, and they've said that he's going to come back in the future. But with everything that's coming out, that video of him talking the way he was talking, for anybody who hasn't seen it, he just sounds like a weird little it's damning. It's character damning. And I wonder with that, it's particularly because it kind of doesn't relate to the Vince McMahon thing, but it's similar-ish. It's within that bracket. And
Do you think there's a person on camera and there's a person off camera where he's playing a character on camera and then the real Jelly Roll is behind? You think it's building an image with his charity thing where he buys a car or a house for this person that's in trouble? You think it's an image building thing?
That's the indication.
Wow.
So that's what's coming out now. So you watch the video.
Shoot me that video later on, Brent, because I will want to see that.
I will. I just wonder will he disappear? That's all. We'll touch on that when it becomes
Darren makes the point here. I sometimes look them up. 15 million followers on Insta, and you've never heard of them. It's mad. Isn't it? It is mad. Yeah, it is.
But you think America has hundreds of millions of people, and you forget that 10% of them is that 15 million.
Well, I think I didn't know a whole lot about Jelly Roll until I seen him. Remember, he was featured on Joe Rogan, I think it was. Remember when he launched the first album and it took off. And they had him on, they were blown away by his voice. But this guy was 400 odd pounds, but he had the voice of an angel, basically. You know what I mean? And they had him on. I think it was a recommendation. One of Joe's friends was on the podcast, and he said you got to check out this Jelly Roll guy. Yeah. And they played a little video of one of his songs. And I think about 2 months later, Jelly Roll was on the Joe Rogan podcast. And then from there, if you're on the Joe Rogan podcast, then it's just you're shot to the moon. You know what I mean? So Joe, if you're listening, have us on, will you? So there we go. Right, so all that taken into account, I think the one good thing that did come out of Elimination Chamber, and we will look at Raw as well, is we've a bit of a framework for WrestleMania now. We've a kind of an idea where things are kind of going and where things are kind of fitting. Obviously, there's a lot of blanks to be filled in and stuff like that still.
Yeah.
But how are we feeling at the moment generally with the way it's going? I know Bren won't appreciate the graphic there, but it's the only one I have. They didn't have a Cody one yet until Friday if that happens. So there you go. You just got to suck it up. I still think it's going to be a 4-way anyway. That's my shout on it anyway. So, but there you go. I think Fatu will spoil the party on Friday night and they'll all get injected into
just look at those 4 matches there, right? And if you had to put those 4 matches up when we were on Death's Door in December and November and thinking where the hell's Mania gonna go?
And last week.
Up until last week. Look at that. That is a wrestling fans main event set up for Mania. Randy versus Drew on night 2 or I think it'll be night 1. Roman and CM Punk on night 2. Jade and Rhea, Stephanie and Liv. Now they have me interested. Now they have me drawn in because this is almost like, okay, the wrestling fans want a wrestling fans main event set for Mania. There's your 4. I am not going to complain one bit about the 4 matches that we have up there, unless the bottom right-hand one goes tits up on Friday.
I don't know if you're seeing JD from New York's breakdown on what he thinks about how the Mania card's going to go. He's predicting 7 matches each night, but there's going to be 3 women's matches each night as well. And it sounds stellar. It sounds stellar.
They have to have the US title defended. They have to have the Intercontinental defended because that's what's really been annoying me now. We've gone so many PLEs where the women's US and Intercontinental titles have not been defended consistently. Now, the Intercontinental more than the US, but if you're going to have 2 women's mid-card titles, at least make them even on the scales. You can't have the IC title going through the roof and the US title going down.
The issue you have post-December is there's nowhere to go with the Royal Rumble because it takes up so much of the show. And then you're straight into Elimination Chamber. Yeah. So where do you go with those mid-card type of belts and stuff, So, but what they should do is they should be booking them really strong on the weekly shows so they still stay really relevant and in our minds. And I think in some respects they've done a little bit of that, But anyone hopeful of this? I think I think maybe Cody might be right. I think maybe we were sleeping on this WrestleMania, and all of a sudden you can see two shows, and suddenly we have a lot going on here that looks pretty.
But
tasty.
I can only imagine the background, what was going on in the back. They're running around like headless chickens, because let's not pretend they haven't been. None of the wrong decisions that they have made has been intentional. They've been fecking up and fecking up and fecking up to the point where Triple H won't even come out after it anymore. He won't even sit with the crew anymore. He'll do a backstage interview after the pay-per-view away from the crowd. So I don't want to pretend that this is all intentional. I don't think it is. I think this is the result of a lot of panic and a lot of pressure. Now, this is the kind of predictability that I like. I think I can predict the winners of all of those matches, but I'm okay with it because we've got good, solid stories. We've got a good build-up. The quicker Rhea gets her hands on that title, the better. Roman is not losing at WrestleMania. Liv is winning, and Drew McIntyre doesn't have the belt past WrestleMania. It's as simple as that.
You see,
but that's okay. That's okay. I'm all right with that. Go on.
Do you know what we like about these 4 matches to start off? If this is how it pans out, every one of them are going to get down into the trenches, and every one of them have started out real fucking personal. And we like that because everyone says when wrestling's at its best is when it mimics reality.
It gets
and
real.
You could see with Rhea and Jade the other day, the locker room reacted to that and they had no idea. Punk the other night, he's going to bury this guy beside his dad. Well, and we're going to talk about it when we get to the Raw section. But even the way Liv's vignette the other night was absolutely exquisite. And we don't need to talk even about Drew and Orton and where that's going to go, and also Cody and potentially Jacob Fatu. God knows what's going to happen there. And imagine just how that's going to go if that does end up being a 4-way. Yeah. I don't see the 2 male titles. I don't see both of them ending up as one-on-ones. I really don't see it because there's just too much talent there to poke around and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, go ahead.
Sorry, I just want to touch on Brent's point there. I don't think Roman's winning at Mania, and I'll tell you why. You're saying Roman won't lose at Mania. I genuinely think Roman's losing at Mania, but for only one reason. Because I don't think Triple H wants that title, given how much it's been defended and featured on Raw, to go part-time and only be featured 3 times a year, 4 times a year. I don't see, as a company, how CM Punk's handled being a champion. Now, I thought Punk's a bit past. I said it in a podcast last November or October when he had a match, he was looking real slow. You know, now he's stepped up and he's defending that title and he's pushing every week to put that title on screen. I doubt Triple H will want to rip all that hard work done to push this World Heavyweight title that in the past has been a secondary title to the WWE, and just throw it on Roman where, okay, Roman's going to be there 1 week and we have no title on Raw for 6 weeks and then comes back, no title on, you know what I mean? I don't think they're going to risk that.
The only thing I would still say, Dave, and sorry, Brent, for interrupting there, I don't think this is sustainable for CM Punk. I don't think he can continue to show up week in, week out, house show tours after house show tours, PLEs after PLEs. You know what I mean? Because let's be honest, he's getting up there as well. You know what I mean?
True, but did they save that till SummerSlam to change the title over then? Is what I mean. Not the whole, that go a whole year again with him. Like,
I think you both of you have solid points. And I think, Niall, if your theory is correct, that's the answer to both points. If you add a 3rd man into the match, or even 2 men into the match, or I imagine it won't be 2. I imagine it'll be maybe it'll be triple threat, and I think that's the answer. So maybe if somebody gets in, get
Rollins in there,
3rd man. But I don't see Rollins going in there just yet.
No,
but to your point, if somebody else somehow gets in there, maybe to both our points they win it. But I do feel I understand your point, but I do think Rollins is winning if it's a singles match.
I think with Rollins, we're probably going to get Rollins and Bad Bunny versus Logan in theory.
Yeah, I think
that kind of celebrity mixed tag kind of thing.
Like that.
What?
I think Lesnar. I think ultimately Lesnar's going to either end up with Obafemi or LA Knight. Or I don't know what the plan is. We've heard the stories this week about Powerhouse as well, Royce Keys as well, where he's backstage at shows and they've absolutely nothing for him, which I think is insane. Absolutely.
Considering he's just come off that Stephanie interview, right? Yep. You would think if they had nothing for him, let's not stick him on the Stephanie podcast just yet.
Put him on content when you've nothing for him. Like, it's crazy.
Well, maybe with the money they're paying him, he may as well do something. So he may as well be podcasting if he's not doing nothing else. You know. But we'll keep this updated and see how it develops. But I have to say, since the last 2 nights of wrestling has me seriously intrigued now about the
Keith,
road
what's
to
your
Vegas.
thoughts?
Go ahead, Keith.
Well, I was going to say, I heard a few things about it, like a few changes. So I heard they're going to be doing Trick Williams and Sami Zayn at Mania. There's real talk of that. There's also talk of them doing Drew McIntyre against Jacob Fatu, and then having Randy against Cody for the title. That's what I heard as well.
I'd be surprised if Drew and Jacob fall out of the title picture.
I would rather if it was a fatal 4-way, personally.
That's what I think, but maybe they might spread it, but I don't
Like,
know.
I'm
We'll know
happy
more Friday night, that's for sure.
I'm happy with the lineup, to be honest with you. I'm not overly mad about Rhea versus Cargill, but other than that, it's a real solid good card.
What was your preference, Tiffy?
Look, I don't mind Rhea, to be honest with you. I rather just do I rather if it was Tiffy was actually added into it. I think she might be added into it personally.
Another multi-person match. I don't know.
Well,
I don't think
really do with Tiffy though.
What do you think this is? WrestleMania 2000?
they could. I don't think they can have another.
They could do worse.
But your I think Rhea is perfect for this. I said it. I said it on the short today. I think it's about time. Like, I'm nothing against Tiffy. Tiffy's deadly, but I think Rhea is perfect for this. They after such a long, boring, crappy women's title reign by somebody who can barely say a syllable without sounding stupid on the microphone. It is about time Rhea comes in, gets that title, and just carries and brings some bloody prestige to it.
But Bren, I don't think this is going to be a long match. I think it could be like a 10-15 minute
I hope
match.
not. I hope Rhea kicks.
That depends. That depends if it stays 1-on-1. If it stays 1-on-1, it could be short enough. I think if they inject someone in there, I was thinking about this match the other night, and I was thinking, what if Io Sky cost Rhea the belt?
Yeah, I was thinking actually myself.
What, at Mania?
Yeah.
I can't say it happening now, but look,
That'd
we
be
know
the worst possible outcome. Keep the belt on chain.
It would, but would it be that like Io Sky feels a little bit like that she's not getting her shot, and she's been at Rhea's level for the last year since the Mania match last year, and why is Rhea getting the shot and she ain't?
I feel like if that's going to happen, they'll put the tension in between them, and we'll know closer to the time. In fact, if I know WikiLeaks Wrestling Entertainment, and I think I do, what'll happen there is we will see the tension rise, and they'll basically tell us it's going to happen.
Well, you're saying the two on Raw. You're my buddy. Oh, Rhea. You know what I mean? It's false friendship, if you like. You know. As Keith would say, never trust a Japanese girl. Is that right, Keith? Never trust a Japanese girl in these circumstances. There you go. But yeah, absolutely cool. It's going to be absolutely stellar, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds and stuff like that.
I can't wait for you to see Punk v Roman v player to be named later on Sunday night. Now,
can I just say something?
So long as Trick Williams knocks the shit out of Sami Zayn, I'll be all right. Everything else.
Well, I was going to say something really positive there, but you can all get effed. No, but isn't this brilliant though? Isn't it? Coming on to Pro Wrestling Weekly and saying, "Yes, what a bleeding Raw!" It's such a change in demeanor. It's fantastic.
Yeah, we do it 3 times a year, Brand. There is usually 3 episodes a year.
Coming after and you know what? Similar to me sex life. What? I'm only messing.
Tonight's about that good therapy.
Yeah, it's that good therapy. And how good is it? How good is it? I'll address the next slide straight away to see the demolition, long overdue, on a Hall of Fame poster.
Lads, I can't tell you how big a smile I had when this was announced.
Well, this is your era, isn't it? This is your like.
Man, I can't begin to tell you how big a Demolition fan I am. Now, I'm not a guy for leather bondage and painting my face at the weekends or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm not that level of happiness.
Not anymore.
But I met both of them at WrestleCon, and I got two custom pops made. And on the back of the custom pops, I had the WWE magazine cover built into the box and everything. Had the tag belts on the whole lot. I'll show them to you. I'll send you pictures. And I sat down with the two of them, 2 of the loveliest chaps you'll ever meet. I'll tell you, you will never meet 4 nicer wrestlers than Demolition and the Powers of Pain. And they were sitting beside each other. And I sat in between the 4 of them and I said, lads, talk to me about the double switch. Talk to me about the switcheroo with Fuji that night. Tell me what was going on. Tell me how you all felt about it. And I turned around to Axe and Smash and I said, tell me how you felt about going face after being heel from ever and a day. And then I turned around and I was talking to the Barbarian and the Warlord. I said, how'd you feel going heel? And Warlord just looked at me. He still jacked to the gills, of course. Warlord looked at me and he says, all in a day's work. You know what I mean? Like, so it was pretty cool. But it was absolutely brilliant. That two stellar guys, if you get to meet them, guys, if they're at the World or they're at WrestleCon, make a point of going up and meeting Demolition. And not only that, even if you're not getting an autograph or picture, go up and shake both the hands and say congratulations on the Hall of Fame. I can't think of two more deserving guys to go into the Hall of Fame, bar the guy on the left, of course. But absolutely sensational. For a while there, we thought it would never happen. Smash held out as long as he could. Axe came around. They resolved their differences. They signed their Legends deal. And it's just absolutely phenomenal. The matches they had, the Hart Foundation, the Rockers, Strikeforce, all these teams. It was just sensational. And everyone knows how passionate I am about tag team wrestling. And hopefully,
it's great as well,
with inducting these guys into the Hall of Fame, hopefully now there's going to be a focus on tag team wrestling to bring it back to where it should be. Go ahead,
it's
sorry,
great
Keith.
as well that they're alive to actually do it. Do you know, like sometimes these tag teams or
Massive.
people that are actually devved,
Yeah.
you can't never see them go in or something like that. You know,
like the natural disasters. You only had Typhoon there last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Was it? No, sorry. Was it Earthquake? Sorry, I can't remember which one was which.
It was Typhoon. Earthquake was passed
Typhoon,
away, isn't it? Yeah.
Fred
John
Do
Dente,
you know the only thing I'm hoping that some way Crush finds his way in there, but I don't know what the implications are about Crush's estate and all that kind of stuff and all, you know what I mean? Again, it would kind of feel strange putting the two boys in and Crush doesn't come in there somewhere, so maybe that's the case we should
how many
say.
more inductees do you think we'll get? Another one or two, do you think?
One or two, I think, yeah.
Funny you mentioned that. I heard the next person to go in, it's going to be announced next week, is the Repo Man. How crazy is that?
No, I think that was a work. I think
that's absolutely it. That's a gag, man. Are you joking?
Yeah, that's
of course.
a gag.
The Repo Man's in front of us.
Yeah, Lash and Noya to interfere. Big up, Sharon. Good to see you. Big up, Kevin. How are you, my friend? Hope you are good. Only 4 Hall of Fame so far, really. Yeah, but listen, it's gonna happen now. Like, what's it? 6 weeks to Mania now. They announced one a week. That one a week is 10. So let's see how that goes.
They still have the Legacy Wing. They still have the Celebrity Hall of Fame inductee. There's still so much more to go.
I'm going to make a call on this. I think this could potentially be one of the strongest Hall of Fames they've put together in a long, long time. It's already started out stellar.
It is.
It's pretty good.
And if you look at... Sorry, go on.
Go on, you go.
If you look at 10 years down the road, like we were saying, look at the amount of superstars we have to induct. Just look at the sheer volume. Lesnar, Punk, Rollins, Reigns. Like, and that's just the top of the card. Never mind the Miz and everyone else. Like, we have so much like backlog in about 10 years' time that it's gonna be 4 or 5 different Hall of Fames worth of fucking stuff.
Brent's sitting there quiet going, you never even mentioned Cody. And you know, he didn't even do it on purpose, Brent. That's what
Cody. Yeah. Well, Cody's uncle Fred Ottman's in there. But do you know what? Isn't it like the Hall of Fame to me? I used to look forward to the Hall of Fame every year. I loved it. I've never been to it. No, you've been to a Hall of Fame. You've told me how special it is to be there. And I'd love to go to one. And I thought the aura just kind of jumped off of a cliff in recent years. But this is special. This is the type of Hall of Fame I'd love to be at.
And it's back at a stage now, Brent, as well. It's back on a stage, not a stupid ring setup that they do.
Which is fantastic. Noel, I'll let you address that comment because this is a massive announcement. You want to talk about Hall of Fame announcements?
Groundbreaking. Brent, it's a new era.
Well, just to let you know, tomorrow, folks, we are going to have our first Women of Wrestling show between Sean and Emma are going to be presenting this show every week. And it's going to be a show dedicated each week to just what's going on in the women's scene and wrestling. And it won't be just WWE. It'll be across all the federations and indies and everything else and all the latest news that's coming out and stuff like that. So make sure you check out their show tomorrow. Give them the full support. It'll be their first show. I know they're going to knock it out of the park. I purposely gave the show to those two. I told them that this is where they're most passionate and that it would shine through on the show if they did it, and they would be more inspired to deliver that show week on week and stuff like that. So make sure you check it out. Give it their full support. Check it out tomorrow. I don't know whether it's going up as a recording or a live. They will let you know, but check it out when it goes up. watch it, like it, share it, give it all that good stuff and all. Yeah,
Can't wait.
There you go, Kevin. Yeah, I don't think there's a timing thing here involved. Cena wouldn't be going in this year because it's too early. Jericho's probably going to come back for maybe a year or two run before he goes in. Christian will definitely go in, but obviously with the AEW stuff and all going on, he's probably not going in. I don't know. Do I get the feeling from you, Kevin? Do you feel Stephanie McMahon isn't a good pick? Are you not happy with Stephanie going in, or is it just the timing of it? Because I think it's a stellar pick. Just because she's the first pick, that doesn't mean anything. If you look at the four men that are on that, the four people that are on that page there, that's a phenomenal lineup as it is, regardless. You know, AJ Styles going in, Demolition going in. But let's not play down the effect that like Stephanie McMahon has had on the wrestling business since she was a kid. You know what I mean? So,
well, look,
let me know your thoughts. Actually, Kevin, let us know, who do you want to go in?
Kev, you mentioned Cena there. Without Stephanie McMahon, there's no John Cena. Remember that. It's not just what she did in front of the camera. It's what she did behind the scenes. If Cena doesn't have that rap battle with Rikishi at the back of the bus, which sounds mental in Europe, and Stephanie's not on the front of the bus to hear that, we probably don't have John Cena today. So Stephanie, there's a lot more to Stephanie than people realize, I think.
Kevin, what did you not like about Bret Hart's Hall of Fame? I was at Bret Hart's Hall of Fame.
It was when Bret Hart got attacked.
That wasn't Bret Hart's Hall of Fame.
Oh no, it wasn't. That was
Bret Hart was inducted at WrestleMania 22 along with Eddie Guerrero. Steve Austin inducted him, and it was a fantastic induction. It was a fantastic induction.
No, he's talking about he must be
the one
talking
where
about
he
when
was spared in the ring.
Yeah.
Not the actual, not that. Bret Hart's Hall of Fame was at 22. It was phenomenal.
It was very.
You want to say the whole family pulled up in a big stretch pink Hummer limousine. It was sensational. And they gave us all roses. They gave us all roses, pink roses, to hand out to them, and they videoed it. And when Eddie Guerrero's family pulled up, they gave us all red roses to hand out to Eddie's family. And they filmed it. It was sensational. Sensational. Never forget it. An unbelievable Hall of Fame. And there was only 2,500 people at it. It was the Rosemont Theatre. It was like going to see a movie in the IMAX. It's sensational. Sensational. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But Kevin, let us know who do you want, and chat if you want to let us know. Who would you like to see going in? Who would you like to see going in? What brings it up another level again when you look at the four people?
I'd love to see Jim Johnson go in and Earl Hebner. That's just me. Those two I'd love to see go in. Because I think they deserve it.
What's wrong with Dave Hebner? That man should be in too.
I think Earl's done more. Personally, that's just me, but I would. Jim Johnson needs to go into that Hall of Fame.
I'm sure he will.
Well,
eventually they come around and stuff like that, you know. So we'll
not if Bruce Pritchard's in there, because Bruce Pritchard thinks everything he made is the same.
Yeah, it is same level of quality. That's what I would answer to that.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Let's get into Raw. Let's talk Raw, lads. Bren, kick us off.
Wasn't it just the best
opening segment?
Wasn't it the best opening segment to Raw in a very, very long time? The decoy masks, man, the division, everything about it was phenomenal. It was explosive. And the chair shot as well. That chair shot in Indianapolis laid it in. But the same chair shot he gave Roman years previous in the same place, in the same ring. Well, this ring might have been a bit more branded. Bam! Hits him. And I'm watching it. To be honest, I watched it the next day on my phone on the Lewis. I was like, go on! I made a bit of a
did you see the way Heyman took his time getting ready for the stomp? He had himself way up on all fours, because obviously Rollins said to him, you better be way up off this or I'm going to press your face through the mat. So he said, and Heyman couldn't crouch up any higher on all fours than he did. He was nearly like a camel at one stage, you know. It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. And then LA Knight in the ambulance, lads.
Between Jimmy showing up, LA Knight in the ambulance, it was shades of the best part of the Attitude Era. I'm not going to say the Attitude Era, but shades of the best parts of the Attitude Era. It was phenomenal. And look, there was some good wrestling as well. Gunther, Dragon Lee, great match, fantastic. AJ Lee's promo itself was solid. Grande versus Grande was cool, but it's continuing on. That's going to end up in a mask versus mask match. I have a question for everybody. You don't have to answer it now. Maybe it's a bit of a rhetorical question. How do you go from a tank at WrestleMania to being the Brooklyn Brawler for Obafemi a few years later? That is a fall from grace. That is, because
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. He's a character and a talent that it can't match Obafemi, but at least it's better than the normal shit they've been feeding him. To be fair, it's a bit more tougher and a bit stronger and a bit more believable.
No, I agree with you, but we know he's going to get chewed up by Obafemi, and I personally don't think it's going to be that much of a competition.
Was this the litmus test to see how he might go when he's in there with a big guy like Brock? Is Rusev the gatekeeper to test the water on that? Maybe because sometimes when you put big guys in there, sometimes it can look really, really awkward. Now I'm not saying Rusev, moves anyway like Brock moves, because Brock is just a genetic freak, like, you know what I mean? But I think maybe putting them in there, maybe it's kind of like, because the way when Rusev was wrestling with Sheamus and all, at times it looks a bit, a bit disjointed, a bit hard work, a bit kind of, you know what I mean? Whereas you're going in there with Brock Lesnar, you better bring your A game and you better show up and you better be able to do everything that you're supposed to do.
Well, if he doesn't, Brock Lesnar's just going to batter him. We've seen Brock get pissed off with people before, so maybe it is. And Dave, to your point, do you know what? You're absolutely dead right in what you're saying. I just think it's unfortunate that you go from a tank WrestleMania to main event and then getting fed to one of the new guys. Mm-hmm. It just reaffirms his role there. So look, I'll just mention 3 more things. Danhausen, that's how we should have been introduced. The course, the Judgment Day with Danhausen was golden. His list of the Mandhausens. Neve was in stitches laughing at that. That was deadly.
Sets it down the road, doesn't it, for a match with JD? Perfectly.
100%. And look, I'll end it with this real quick. Obviously, we've a new IC champ with Penta, and that was just beautiful to see how much it meant to Penta. But that promo at the end, because we've a lot to get through, so I'll give it to the other boys and yourself, Niall, now in a sec. I think Roman looked like he was going to find Larry's grave, the dog, and piss on it next week, because anything less than that, Roman, like, you're not going to be alone. I'm going to bury you next year. That's proper.
Did you see the reaction from Silla? I
didn't
catch that.
He's
so
on.
Next time we see CM Punk's going to beat the fuck out of him.
It was so.
It's like,
but that's how good it is. It transcended onto Twitter, and it gave Silla a little bit of a spotlight. This Raw was one of the best Raws in recent memory. I loved it. Brilliant. And again, I won't take up too much more time.
Question for you. Is this how Zilla comes into the company? Because there's been a lot of talk.
Just thinking that. I was just thinking that.
Because the way Punk kept on emphasizing you're here on your own. The lads aren't with you anymore, kind of thing.
Samoan goblins.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
The problem with that is, right, in my opinion, and this is just thinking out loud, would that not just be Bloodline 4.0 then? And does it work? Are we watering it down even further? And also as well...
Look at the other Samoans, Bren. Look at Talatonga and Tamatonga and Tongaloa, Tongaloa, or whatever you want to call them. They're all nothing now. MFTs are just a sideshow now.
Precisely my point. But then, if it does lead to Zilla coming in, does that then go to my point that Roman Reigns is winning at WrestleMania? But this is beautiful. So many questions. It's deadly. I love it.
Yeah, brilliant. Keith? Raw?
I actually quite enjoyed it, to be quite honest, which is probably one of the best Raws we've had in a long, long time. Like, this is what we've been crying out for. Like, a jam-packed Raw. Like Bren said, it just felt like an Attitude Era start to Raw. Like, it just had everything that you wanted. And it was brilliant to see LA Knight in that.
Brilliant. Did you see they released camera footage from inside the cabin?
Yeah.
So good. That guy is, like, he's just electric. But
it was everything we wanted for the last while. Like, Raw has been so dry and stale the last while. That this is what we really wanted for WrestleMania. This is a WrestleMania episode, leading up to WrestleMania. I love the Liv Morgan promo package. I thought that was quality as well. That was really well done. I really wanted to see Stephanie on this Raw. Just even if it was in a match and then they cut it to like that promo segment, I just wanted to see her on it. That's the only criticism I have for this week. But other than that, like, I was a really, really, really good Raw. I'm surprised they unmasked Dragon Lee.
Oh, yeah. Shit.
I'm surprised they did that.
They threw a cloth over him, to be fair.
It was intentional, though. My understanding is it was 100%
Yeah, it was,
part of it.
yeah.
It wasn't by accident. That was
They do
obvious.
love those good burned faces, don't they?
But like, what else?
The
could you
minute I
say,
say
lad?
that, all I could think about was when Kane unmasked. Must have been the worst thing ever. It was
That's
just
my
so
favorite
bad.
conspiracy. That's my favorite conspiracy theory. Like one of my favorite conspiracy theories ever was he was unmasked to stop him getting more popular than the Undertaker.
Interesting.
Wow.
Keith. Wow.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. But however,
Not gonna
Well,
happen.
not
as in
now,
you're not
'cause they
gonna, you're not
unmasked
gonna
them,
bite.
do you
You're
know
not
what I
gonna
mean?
bite
Yeah.
on it, or yeah. Very good.
I'm
Yeah.
delighted with Penta. Penta
It's
deserves
not a
to
bad
win the
shout,
IC
Dave.
title.
Actually, when you think about it, I
Hey,
never
Dave.
liked either of them anyway.
Dave,
Yes, Brendan.
let's do a splinter episode of Pro Wrestling Weekly about wrestling conspiracy theories. You
Mate,
like them.
don't. I've got
I
too
like
many,
them.
man. I've got
No,
too
well,
many.
that's the point. We haven't got time to discuss them now. So let's do a special about wrestling conspiracy
I will get my
theories.
tinfoil hat out of storage.
I'll
He's
bring
an
my
AEW
tinfoil hat.
fan. He's blasted with conspiracy theories every fucking Wednesday and Saturday night. What are you talking about?
I would love to hear some of them.
I
so
love
let's
the
do
Vin.
it. It's in the
I
cards.
another one I love is that Vince Russo was sent to WCW to destroy the company, and it's after. And as you know, I've been watching.
Well, that's not a conspiracy.
Monday
That's
night-
fact, because that's what he did.
You know, I've been watching Nitro for the past, I'd say, 6 months nonstop, watching every week, one episode a week, and watching the downfall of it. Like, there's absolutely no doubt about it. He must have been sent there by Vince to say, "You take this down." Like, anyway, getting off topic.
Then he found his
why
way
not?
to TNA. That was the problem.
I'm delighted they gave the title to Penta. I have to say,
Mhm.
he's deserving of that title because he's put in so much hard work and effort the last year in that company. I thought it was perfect time for Dom to actually get rid of the IC title. It's kind of gone on a bit too much now. But I'd be interested to see what they're going to do with Penta now, leading up to WrestleMania. What they're actually going to do with him with the IC title.
Ladder
It'll be,
match.
it'll be interesting to see what happens with Finn as well, because obviously
that
with
was a
Dom
great
losing
build.
the IC belt,
That was
where
a great
does
build up.
where
That
does
as
that
well.
all land? Where does that all land?
Yeah.
You know? So it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I think JD as well has been fabulous as well. Some of those video packages with him and Finn and stuff like that, and you know, those
Who
are like,
we
it's only because I care about you and all this kind of thing, you know.
who
Maybe
we
it's
picking for-
JD who they turn on, you know. Who knows?
Who we pick for AJ Lee to face next? Who's it? That gauntlet match?
Well, we're about to talk about that
Oh,
because, like a good wrestler and a good promoter, I come prepared. There we go.
That's it.
These are the two things we wanted to discuss. So we'll start off. I thought that's a beautiful graphically put together for Friday night.
Delicious.
And in the middle, and Jacob Fatu. What do we think? Is this going to be a straight up Cody wins the belt and we get Cody R and stare down pointing at the WrestleMania?
If-
sign of it?
If the rumors are to be believed, Niall, right? They go from Drew versus Randy. If they give the title to Cody, I'm not saying it's the wrong decision because I don't like Cody. I'm saying look at the title
But it's
runs
the wrong-
Cody has had, right? No, I'm giving you a reason for it. Cody's title runs have been absolutely diabolical because he comes out every week and says, "What would you like to talk about? What would you like to talk about?" There's no
Fuck
promos or interaction with any superstars to build up any storylines. It's just Cody just presents himself and then goes backstage. I don't want that again. Not for another 6 weeks of this. I would rather Jacob Fatu demolish Cody and we keep
Shout.
Randy
Shout out.
against Drew.
Great shout. Great shout. Who knows? He might lose it to Danhausen. Who knows? Who knows? That could be a shout.
Then you can set up
but Dave-
Danhausen versus
But
Iguana
Dave, did-
for the title at Mania.
but Dave,
Versus
Drew
that psycho
McIntyre,
clown versus throw the ball in
lucky.
there. Sure. Yeah. Go on, Keith.
Dave, since Drew's won that title, it's actually been like a 4% increase in viewership and everything else.
Whoa.
Keith's got the fucking stats in there.
Look at
Keith's
this
got
man.
the stats, Keith. No, do you
Yeah.
know what, Keith? I love
Will
that. Do you
you-
want to know why? Because it's proof that he's better than Cody.
Now, hang on, Carol Vorderman. Where does your 4% come from?
I saw it online today.
Oh, everything online.
Can I have a bell? Can I have a bell, please, Keith?
You don't only
Oh,
say that 'cause your poor
consonant.
little Cody's
Put your
not
clo-
holding the
put-
title.
Put,
that's
put, your,
why.
put your clothes back on, Carol. I can't
Right.
concentrate.
Listen, lad, we know if Cody wins that again, the viewership's going to go. So
Yeah, it is. It is.
But it's
SmackDown's
not.
gonna be
It's not.
shite
It
down.
is.
but it's not. I mean, this indicates that you haven't really been watching. You've been watching YouTube highlights because Cody didn't just come out and do that. That was just part of his shtick. Cody had feuds. Cody had some of the best matches last year. Cody had some of the best promos last year. And it's not just me saying it.
It is.
But it is just you saying it.
It is just you saying it.
Sharon, Anto, yeah.
Right, hang on. Before you drag in the rest of the Cody crybabies to fill up that Rivals Tears bottle, okay? Give me 5 Cody matches from the last year that stand out.
Cody
You're a
versus
fan.
Kevin.
You're his biggest fan.
No, it's been over a year since Cody versus Kevin Campbell. That one out.
Cody
me
versus
5.
Cena.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
Balls.
That was stellar.
And the other thing about it, Noel, is you know that my memory is shit, and if I'm unprepared for questions like that, I can't answer them.
Get off your phone now. Don't start going on Google.
Like
no, I'm not going.
Don't be the last to go on Google now.
No, here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen.
So you literally, in the last year, you're bigging up Cody Rhodes, and you can give me 1 match.
No, I can give you a few matches, but I can't do them off the top of my head. My memory isn't what it used to be. I'm 40 years of age now.
That's you problem, Bren.
Now, here's what's going to happen.
What an excuse.
Sorry.
Do you want me to ask Dave how many Drew McIntyre matches he can give me from the last year?
Because he's a Poindexter. He's a nerd. He knows this stuff. I'm not a nerd. I'm a cool guy. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm only messing Dave. I'm sorry about that. Look, I feel guilty about that.
A minute ago, you wanted him on a conspiracy theory show.
I've just been kicked off the conspiracy theory show. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a short Cody's 5 best, and Noel, I'll ask you to post them for me tomorrow, please.
You call yourself a Cody fan.
You call yourself a wrestling fan.
Bren, how many Cody t-shirts do you own?
Every week it's like Raw was shit, and then you mention 5 things you like.
He owns all of them, and I'm not going to get upset at that.
Hey, I back up what I say. If I say Raw was shit, I can list 5 things that were shit. You say
Sharon, Drew did defend his title. In fact, I will add.
He did,
and then he comes out every now and again.
But he's a heel. He's supposed to. Yeah, he's a heel. That's how a heel's supposed to be when they're a champion. Not like
QBC. QBC is over. Is QBC over?
No, he's not. Here's what's going to happen this Saturday. The SmackDown Hotel. I want everybody to check in because it's not only going to be a SmackDown review show. It's going to be a celebration of Cody being champ again.
And you're going to lose viewership, which is exactly what happens when Cody's champ.
I'm not going to lose viewership.
Well, I'm not tuning in.
I'm going to be ringing you.
Don't tune in anyway.
I'm going to be ringing you at about 4 o'clock in the morning tomorrow night or Friday night. I want to hear those tears. I will be leaving a voicemail. I will be up.
Can you wait?
But Drew did not really defend his title much, did he? But look at the psychology of Drew McIntyre and what he does. He doesn't just peddle vodka, as you know, Sharon.
Mr. Wheatley.
As you know, and I did like the picture the other day, Sharon Talanto. Very good, very, very good. I do like it.
Very good, very nice.
Cody is now a commercial entity. He's John Cena, but it's vodka and braces and watches and sunglasses and hair dye and like
so John Cena was t-shirt, 12 rounds,
Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah, that was one of his favorites.
Yeah, no, but you know what I mean. I'm not throwing shade at John Cena, but what I'm saying is he's become more of a commercial entity to the company, I think.
But it's also worth pointing out that the viewership typically goes up during WrestleMania season. And like I said before, when Drew McIntyre is champ for over 3 months, come back to me, because at that point we'll have a better route to judge him. Now, look, I like Drew McIntyre, but the Cody hate that happens sometimes, the Cody detractors.
What do you mean over 3 months? Did he not win the belt at War Games?
Yeah, but like I'm talking about for like
no, he won on
3
SmackDown.
months.
He won on SmackDown, was it?
Was that over 3 months ago?
Yeah, SmackDown he won. Yeah.
Was that when was that?
3 stages fell.
That's well over 3 months ago.
January, was it?
No, we're in the 3rd month now. So I'll talk to you in 2 weeks' time now.
Grand stuff. We'll get.
He won't be champ by then. So
hey. I think Bailey's winning this gauntlet match. By the way, I think Bailey's going to come down to Bailey v Lyra, and I think Bailey's going to win this.
But Brian, is this not a problem in a sense? If Cody wins this and then it's going to go to Cody and Randy, and it's flip-flopping the title. Like,
it depends. So Keith, my thing is, it depends on where the better story is. I'm not, to be honest, all messing aside, I'm actually a fan I'm a fan of Drew McIntyre. Of course I am. Who wouldn't be? Is it a problem? It depends how it's executed. It depends on the story behind it. And my thing only was that the best story to tell, in my opinion, would have been lean on the legacy side of things, give it more time between Cody and Randy, and obviously not bring back Ted DiBiase. I wish him the best of luck. But like, do you know what I mean? That's I want a better story. I'm not saying Drew McIntyre is a bad dude to have as champ. He is. And look, when I call him Scottish Diesel, I do it in jest.
Is the concern is the concern here that they feel Cody versus Randy wouldn't be enough, that it needs the title? Could we look at it that way?
I think fans are burnt out from it, probably.
I hope not. But like, I don't. To be honest with you, Niall, I actually don't think that feud needs the title either. I personally don't think it needs a title. I think you could carry that feud. That could be a feud without the title for months after. So maybe Orton or Cody.
Because I think Dave's point is valid here, that if Drew loses the belt on Friday, if we feel the belt is going to go to Orton, Cody's going to hold the belt for roughly 6 weeks. It's not a great look, is it?
It's
title-wise.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, and I think if any, that's why I don't think the title is going to change hands. I think what happens is you're going to get some sort of a schmozzle in this match on Friday, and you're going to see Jacob and maybe Drew. You're going to see all 4 of these men in that match, I think. Because I don't think it makes sense. Now, ultimately, I don't know. Maybe Cody ends up winning the belt at Mania.
Well, but typically speaking, Noel, if something is leaked, it happens. We know that from history. And it was leaked a few weeks ago that there's going to be either a 4-way or a 6-pack challenge at WrestleMania for that title. That does 2 things for me. That diminishes Randy's win at the Elimination Chamber, kind of screws him over a bit, but then gives it a story for him to get a match later on. And also then you could put the belt on Cody that way.
Well, you have to remember as well, because Randy's win at the Elimination Chamber is tainted anyway because of Black Hoodie Guy.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but
so it's not like he went in and straight up won a chamber and remember, Logan Paul eliminated 3 people in that chamber.
Yeah, that's a very, very, very good point.
So it's not like Randy went bell to bell and came out coast to coast and he was the guy in the chamber. You know what I mean? He ultimately won it.
No, do you know what kind of annoys me about this is that they went from a 3 stages of hell match. It was a perfect way to end that rivalry at top between the two. And now you're continuing on with another match with them. Like, why could you... Why is that?
What would you have done, Keith?
For this match here?
Nope. After the 3 stages of hell, what would you have done? Would you have taken Cody out?
I would have ended it there.
Okay, well, so who
you
would
you can't in the way it ended.
Who would you have slid into that position?
To win the title, like, what do you mean exactly? Or I would have had
to continue the feud.
Well, I think who's a recently there.
Well, see, the feud naturally continues because Cody got screwed by Jacob Fatu.
True.
So it's not like it was a clean win. So he's every right to be still in the conversation and in the picture. I just wonder, are they going to use this Mania? Is this the Mania where we see Jacob Fatu arrive? And if that was the case, I'd be very excited. Look, we know how good the other 3 are. The other 3 are phenomenal. They're superstars. It doesn't need any kind of conversation. But is this, if it went this way, is this the moment where Jacob Fatu now takes that leap into that, that upper echelon, stuff like that? And if they booked it that way, how would we feel about it?
What would they do? What if they did, like, they gave it to Randy and then they built on Randy versus Jacob and give Jacob the title at SummerSlam or something?
I think if they give the belt to Randy, I think it'd be a slightly longer run, because I think Randy will want to have a kind of a run with the belt, because it's probably going to be his last run with the belt, I would imagine.
Yeah. I wouldn't be opposed to Jacob winning, to be honest.
See, if Jacob wins, happy days. Happy freaking days.
Because this would signify the new era, wouldn't it? This would be the new era that we're all grasping and trying to find, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not really a new era if Randy Orton wins the belt. It's not really a new era if Cody Rhodes wins the belt on Friday. But if these 4 guys end up in this match potentially, and we're only putting it out there, we don't know. But is this the moment where if these 4 guys in a ring, WrestleMania main event, and
Well-
Jacob Fatu is the one who wins.
Here's a
And
question
the
for you,
three
Niall.
boys put him over.
Here's a question for you, Niall. Do you think Jacob
dead.
is ready for it? Do you know the way
Of course.
Jay Uso wasn't? I know. I'm just asking. I just wanted your opinion. Do you think he's ready?
Again,
for it?
we don't know, Keith. That's something that you have to give someone the ball and let them run with it and see what happens. But I think if we're going to talk about these errors and they have to deliver on what they're saying at some stage, I think if the three boys, if it ends up in a four-way and the three boys were to put Jacob Fatu over for the belt at WrestleMania, that would be fucking stellar. Imagine the elevation of him beating these three guys in a four-way at Mania. And you know I'm not a big fan of four-ways or triple threats and that kind of stuff, certainly when it's around the title picture and stuff like that. But I like to look at these four in the ring. I think it would be cool. And that's why I don't, Dave, just we went on to your point there about, you know, talking about Cody getting the belt and then it'll be whipped off him in 6 weeks' time by Orton at Mania. You know, it doesn't kind of really make sense to do that, does
Flip
it?
flops.
You know?
I think that'd be brilliant, Noel. And in fact, I'd be all for it. 100%. Give Fatu the ball, let him run with it. I love Cody, but Fatu, I think he deserves it.
Do you
And
think
this
they'll
new-
announce this match after it, like saying that it's going to be a WrestleMania?
I
match?
think Aldous will have a hand in it. I think the way he's done it with Drew announcing the match, saying you've done enough now, you've caused enough trouble, you're going to put that title on the line against Cody. If Jacob makes another interference, he'll have no choice but to say, look, you three can't keep a house together. You can't keep coming in every single week doing this crap. You're going to defend your title against not one, not two, but three different opponents at WrestleMania. I think that's genuinely how it's going to go. And I think all this will be the linchpin in getting this all together because of how many interferences. Because you have to remember, Jacob cost Cody the title to lose it to Drew. So if he costs Drew the title to lose it to Cody, it only ties it in even more.
And
But
look, it's
remember-
no coincidence that Drew... Sorry, go on.
Remember how else it's tied in as well, because if you think about it, everyone thinks that Drew was the guy who attacked Jacob, but Jacob was attacked with a punt to the head. That's why he had to go get all the dental work.
Yep.
Who delivers the punt to the head? Randy Orton.
Randy Orton.
So this is all intertwined here.
Long-term storytelling.
This makes sense. This makes so much sense.
I'm
I
hoping
tell
it's
you,
fair
lads,
forward. I
lads,
really am hoping.
I need to be in that building if Jacob Fatu raises that belt against these three guys. If this match happens,
Looks like you're buying
I'm gonna
another
be
ticket.
so excited. So excited.
I want you
you're
to
buying
come.
another ticket then.
I want you to come on the live if that happens. I want you to
100%.
like. We'll stay on online. Anyway,
Oh, this is going to be absolute. Yeah, well, I'll be able to come on for a post show if you want anyway in the car park. So it's not a problem. How are we doing, Brent? Yeah, but let us know your thoughts, folks. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, folks. How do you want it to go out? What are we thinking on the gauntlet match, folks? I think this is tailor-made for Raquel.
It could be like a what's the
I
word
hope
I'm looking
not,
for?
David. I
Consolation.
hope not.
Consolation prize for not winning Chamber. It could be like a look. We're not going to give you the belt yet. Let's see how you do with the IC title, and we'll go from there. I think that might be the idea,
I think
especially
it's
with
gonna be-
Liv potentially winning the title at Mania.
I think it's going to be
My
Io
thi-
Sky or Bailey. That's me.
I
My
wonder, does it
thinking-
make sense to have both girls picking up gold?
my thinking is it's going to be Raquel, firstly, but secondly, the other thing that came to mind when this all came about was, isn't it an awful shame how many times Bailey's been shafted in the last year?
Yeah.
But she had something going on. She had her character work going on where she was good girl, bad girl. And then all of a sudden it's just dropped and she's normal Bailey. I have a feeling that Bailey could be on the way out. When is her next contract? We'll talk about it another time. But that's the other thing that came to mind. Other than that, I think you're dead right. I think it's Raquel all day.
I think Bailey could be going into a performance center role or opening her own school, because she does have that Lodestone training camp that follows her around each PLE. She has all the women wrestlers from local and around the world that fly in for these Lodestone camps that she does. I think it could be either a training role in the performance center for her.
She's still
or
very
she
young,
could-
though, Dave.
But look at all she's done, though, Keith. She's
I know,
done
she
it
still has
all.
a few more years
She's
left.
going over to our mate, Sasha
Yeah,
Poxy Banks in AEW.
She's not
And
going to AEW.
I think
Not
so.
going to
And Sasha Banks can go and just once she's come into my sentence, she can piss off as well. Sorry, no, go ahead.
Now, hang on a minute. Let's roll back here. Let's roll it back. because it was only about a week or two ago on a podcast we were talking favorably about that girl. So you can't
Sasha Banks?
flip flop. We were
I wasn't
talking about.
favourably.
Excuse me. We spoke about the input she had down in NXT and the matches and the women's evolution and all that kind of stuff. So let's kill the Jets here. We don't like the fact that she carries 20 replica belts around with her and all that kind of stuff. But let's not get distracted by the fact. Let's not throw the whole body of work in the bin.
He's shitting on it because it's AEW and because it's the trendy thing to do, Niall. Don't worry. I understand why Brand does it.
No,
but anyway.
And every week he points for your review show.
Hold on, hang on a minute.
Yeah, but I start to feel that's a gag, though.
Nobody listens to me here. Because when I spoke about Sasha Banks, right, I said specifically, thank you. I said specifically, hire up that Whistler 2000, you 75-year-old bastard. No, I said specifically that I believe she was in the ring with good wrestlers. Sasha Banks was always overrated, in my opinion. Even when I watched her in NXT, she's in all these top fives, not worth a bollocks because she can't talk, poxy on the mic, shit actress, and then on top of that as well, she got carried by a lot of female wrestlers. There's some female. Charlotte Flair could make me look good in the ring, and I am probably the worst wrestler of all time. That's not a stretch. I'll stretch you. Anyway, that's just how that's just what I think anyway.
Come on, let it all out.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Let it all out.
No,
do you feel better now? Is this the Cody pressure for Friday night coming through, and it's only Wednesday evening? What's wrong with you? Are you all right there?
I'm comfort eating me Cordy Wordy here, drinking me full fat orange. Because if Cody doesn't win that belt, I'm going to be fucking 20 stone in about.
You're losing more hair, Bren, from the stress.
Yeah, do you remember Ben Stiller at the end?
What did you say? Are you going to hang on a minute? I'm losing more hair. Yeah, prick. Sorry about that.
Bren, you're gonna be like Ben Stiller at the end of Dodgeball eating that chicken in the bed. That's what you're gonna be like at 4 o'clock on Friday morning.
Eno has us on the plasma screen, lads. Love that. And Noel, do you not think Brock and Gunther would work? It's not that it would work. What happens is the talk I've heard at the moment is it's going to be Gunther versus Rey Mysterio. That Rey Mysterio is going to come back to defend the whole luchador thing there, and that's what's been happening with Dragon Lee. I
think Dragon Lee's been filling in from Niall because things been injured. I think Dragon Lee's just been a placeholder.
But I think that's where they're going to go with it. I don't think they're going to go. I'd say the fact that Brock put out the open challenge doesn't make sense that it would be answered by the guy who's the career killer. If you're going to do that match, the career killer has to lead. He has to lead that. He has to be the guy that calls Brock out.
So this is going to retire Ray basically at WrestleMania.
Yeah, pretty much.
It could potentially retire Ray, or it could potentially, I don't know. It could unmask him. I don't know. Whatever it is, I don't know.
Or he could get injured on the run in again.
We'll see what happens.
Who knows?
Dan is in.
Sad if he retires Ray, because I think that's Dom's
Someone put a
Ray's ready, man. Ray is done. Like, Ray's had so many injuries and he's struggling. Every time he comes back, it's another injury. I think Ray is ready.
His last match needs to go to his son. It's as simple as that. If it goes to Gunther, WWE can piss off.
Is it fair in the last match, if it is Dom, that it's Dom that unmasks him?
And takes his mask and uses his mask.
Absolutely.
And does Dom then by definition inherit the mask?
Oh, I don't think so. I don't know. I can't see him. I can see him maybe wearing the mask down to the ring, but not wearing the mask wrestling.
But we've had that feud already, though, and with 6 weeks to Mania, it's not long enough to build up.
I don't mean now. I don't mean a Mania.
Oh, right.
I wasn't talking about Mania. I just meant in general.
That would be sure.
That'd
be good.
Dave reckons Bren is feeling it tonight. Yes, Bren. Bren's feeling very uptight about Friday night. He's very concerned. But heck, if we get Jacob Fatu as champ, it's all good. Lads, don't get Bren started unless you want to get yourself stretched. There you go. Raheem,
keep bend over.
The dream.
No, not
but that's a different kind of stretch. There we go. Anyone else? Any thoughts on the gauntlet match? Stellar match by the looks of things.
I think it's gotta be
Sharon. Sharon in there. Hold on, what do you mean I can talk? I didn't say that. That was Keith that called him bald.
It was Sharon. You all right there, Sharon? Do you need to come on and we put you on the full screen?
Sharon's more than all right.
Sharon, do we need to get yourself an Anto on and put you on the full screen, give you full screen treatment? We know
Two quality people.
Fans.
Two quality
Absolutely,
people.
We love them. We love them. Right, Bren, you can talk us through this. Absolute meltdown on Twitter. Rhea versus Jay Cargill.
Right, I did a short
very
on this
nasty,
today.
got very personal, and then everyone started weighing in from Chelsea Green, Piper Nevin, all weighing in on this. Give us a breakdown. What are you thinking?
First of all, it's good to see Piper Nevin tweeting again. Really good to see her, and I really hope. Where's Dave gone? He's gone invisible. It's okay. Look, you mentioned this at the start, and you mentioned that even I might have got worked. I don't know whether this is a work. I don't know whether it's not. If it is a work, brilliant. Okay, very good. Hook, line, and sinker. If it's not a work, Jade Cargill, get back in your box. Cut a good promo and come back to me. That's what to do, because genuinely one of the most overhyped, worst wrestlers on the roster. It's not even close. The absolute cheek of her to rise to that level and go off script. She's not good enough to go off script.
And the fact they kept showing her on camera at Chamber. Every 2 minutes they got, she was in the crowd, they were showing her. What's the fuck? Keep the camera on the ring, man.
The amount of segments she was in on one of
the size of the check, they have to get value for money.
So look, Niall, in my opinion, and I'll get everyone else's opinion on it as well. In my opinion, if this is a work, well done, girls. But if it's not a work, I hope Rhea kicks the snot out of her, legitimately at WrestleMania.
You can swear. We're past the watershed, Brent. Don't worry.
I can't. Yeah. I don't like it. I don't like that version of me.
Do you remember that? on the WWF program?
We may be the Heath Slater of the Irish.
This is a post watershed.
This ain't for kids.
Brent, do you remember that on Raw when it used to be on after 9? It used to say this is a post watershed production.
Oh, on the Sky Sports announcement.
On Sky Sports. I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon, Dave, they're testing the water with Rusev with Oba. That's what I reckon. I reckon that's what it is, because Oba and
this
Rusev
Twitter beef,
like, it's just.
Yeah, this Twitter beef to me is fantastic, because
is it a work though?
I don't care either way, Brent. It's entertaining. It's bringing back what you said about LA Knight in the ambulance and Jimmy Uso coming out and all, having that shades of the Attitude Era. You know, this is exactly what they used to write in WWF magazines back in the day when they'd shoot on each other in promos. It's on them. You know what I mean? We didn't have this outlet back then, and since social media has been such a thing, why not put what you'd normally put in a magazine or an article and throw it out on social media? Have them literally Twitter beef for everyone to see. I don't care if this is real or it's a work. What's important is it's working, and that's all that matters. I'm happy with it. I love this.
You can imagine the two girls
getting involved.
Yeah.
On the buses and then backstage. So you should have gone, what will I tweet next? Next?
Yeah. But you can imagine the two of them. You can imagine the two of them at it, at the gorilla position with Triple H. And Triple H going, girls, take it to wherever you want to take it. And Cargill just walking off. Right, you smelly god, you're gonna get it.
And you know what? If this ends up do you know what's going to happen, Noel? You're going to get that reality, because it's going to be an Unreal segment. I guarantee it's going to be an Unreal segment where the two of them are backstage about this whole Twitter beef. They're sitting in the locker room and they're going, "You happy for right there? What do you think? You think that's good?" Yeah, and then
don't think for a minute H has checked out on H hasn't checked out on this long-term content thing either. Like, this Unreal ain't going nowhere. They have libraries of this shit already lined up. No doubt about it. Anyone else? Brian, what was your? I mean, you know the way I thought about this today. I don't even care if it's a work, because I'm just gonna absorb it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I lay you odds you're going to get more and more of this locker room coming out having it. I think what's going to happen with Jade Cargill is she's going to butt end of not being able to wrestle jokes from the locker room, and then she's probably going to drop the belt, and she's going to go off for a while and train with someone. I don't know who they're going to get her to train with, whoever it is, and she's going to come back and she might surprise us.
I hope she does. I hope she does, because what I said about her a few minutes ago was a bit harsh, but unfortunately it's true. What I love about wrestling is, and I always say I love being proved wrong. So if you're bang on and she comes back and she wrestles a stellar match, and I'm like, you know what? Fair play to her, because I was looking forward to Jade Cargill coming in. But my conclusion is you and Dave are spot on. It doesn't matter if it's a work, it's bloody brilliant. It's very, very good.
Yeah, they really this episode of Raw, they really did up the reality of things, and they laid out a really good stuff. This was a really well put together Raw and really thought out well.
Now, can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
Do you think sorry, no, I want to ask a question about Raw. Do you think over the last while, because it's been so stale and stagnant, that the WWE knew that they needed to up this because they weren't happy with the fans weren't happy and things like that, and they knew they had to.
They've known from a long time. They've known from a long time. They knew when Cody won the belt at Mania and you were getting the bloodline kind of dissolving and going away and stuff like that. We called it then as well, that we knew that the company would be under pressure after the run of the bloodline and the Rock and all that build up to WrestleMania 40, I think it was, and then 40, and then it was insane, and especially the way they built up Cody, because the previous year he had lost, and we remember him sitting there and he's in tears on the ramp and stuff like that and all. And the emotion of all that then when he got the belt. And we did say that now that the story is kind of complete, where do we go with that now? What would happen with long-term storytelling? They were going to be under an awful lot of pressure. And it was going to be, sometimes what happens with WWE is they catch lightning in a bottle. We talk about wrestling going in cycles. Sometimes they catch lightning in a bottle and they run with it and it goes really well. And sometimes it's 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, whatever it is. And sometimes they try it again and it just doesn't happen for whatever reason. And you know, that's the reality of it. Sitting backstage and you can think, you know, Danhausen versus Sami Zayn. The crowd's going to love Danhausen coming out of this crate. They're going to pop like crazy. It's Chicago. It's the second city saint. You've got Punk coming out to Alan Parsons' project, and like it's flat as a pancake. Danhausen comes out, and everyone's looking around going, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And it doesn't hit the way you think it's going to hit. But then you do an episode of Raw, and you place him in the position where you need him the best, and that's where he can maximize his impact in the company. And it hits, and it works. A simple promo backstage with the Judgment Day, and most people are on the Danhausen train.
Damn right.
And
That's the fickleness. That's the fickleness of how wrestling sometimes works. You know,
I can't wait to get that t-shirt
over fair John Cena. You know, but you know what I mean. And that's sometimes the way it works, and that's the reality of the business. You know, they're not going to hit it out of the park every time. You know what I mean? I think this Mania in Vegas, everyone can crap on ticket sales and the blackout thing and all that other stuff that's going on. That's really, really bad press, and it shouldn't happen. And the tickets should be way more affordable and all. But I think they owe the fans a serious ticket in Vegas after last year, and I think they may just deliver on it. I think there'll be very little will be given out about Mania. If we get what people think, 3 women's matches each night and stuff like that over 7-match night and all, I think Mania is going to be stellar. You know, if we get Io versus Asuka, you know, and maybe Kairi Sane in the middle there, tied between the two, that'll be very, very cool. You know what I mean? There'll be a storyline to it and stuff like that. Really good 100%. Stuff. You know, we haven't even mentioned Charlotte and Alexa, Raquel potentially IC belt. Like, there's lots of really good stuff that could come into this Mania if they get it right. And fingers crossed, everyone that they feel that's going to be involved and the pathway they've laid out for them, just fingers crossed nobody gets injured. That's the main thing. Because that's what changes everything then. You know, that's what fucks things up. That's what's happened with the Vision. There's also talk as well, yeah, that maybe one Braun Breaker for the rest for WrestleMania, but they're keeping it very quiet.
Deadly.
So we shall see. There's talk that maybe that could be a 6-way. He could have Seth versus the Three Boys. So let's see what happens and who they put in with Seth. They're talking about Seth and maybe the Usos versus the Three Boys. So we shall see. Anyone else add? We do a bit of history.
Just one thing.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched Collision from Saturday I advise you to watch Tommaso Ciampa versus Jay Lethal, because Jay Lethal does such a great job of the art of pacing a match. Something Jay Lethal's always done in his entire career was the pacing of a match. He holds it so bloody well. And Ciampa steps up to him really, really good. He puts him over really well as well. But it's just, he still goes down the Ric Flair route of strutting and doing the woo and everything. And it's bloody hilarious. But I advise you to go and watch that match. And MJF has a title match now on Dynamite against, I think it's Kevin, the Jet Kevin Knight is for Dynamite. They had a really great promo exchange on Collision as well, which is worth watching. Just 2 highlights from Collision that I definitely ask you to pop on X and watch the highlights of, because it is really, really good.
And also, don't
Dave.
forget, Tommaso Ciampa confirmed this week. So go visit the guy.
Dave, real quick. What's the, and this is, I'm not messing here. What was the logic behind bringing Ciampa over, giving him the belt for a week, and then basically what is that? I mean,
I think
that's a shit move.
It's not like, if I've been trying to kind of break it down in my head and think about the logic behind it, and the only conclusion I can come to is that they brought Ciampa over and put the TNT belt on him, and then realized, hold on, maybe there's more to Ciampa than we realized when we signed him. Maybe this guy could be bigger than a mid-carder. Maybe he could go to the slightly higher upper mid-card or lower top card. I think they said maybe the TNT title, maybe he could go a little bit higher. Maybe you could see him against Mox. Maybe you could see him against Takeshita, or even Okada. I think they're just saying maybe there's a little bit more here. The reaction he got, especially when he came in, because I spent a long time thinking about this. Like, why would they do that? And I thought maybe they're thinking there's a bigger role for him now. Maybe there's a better role for Ciampa. But that's just my opinion. That's what I'm thinking they're going down.
The only thing I could think of, it was a brain fart, and he totally forgot about Fletcher and the Australian. That's the only thing I could think of.
By the way, their tag team name is fucking hilarious, shite and great at the same time. Proto-Kada.
There we go.
And I laughed at it as well, but I thought it's brilliant and shite at the same time. Like, I hate it and I love it. It's like it's clever, but it's so terrible. But yeah, check out some of Collision, those 2 points in particular, because I think they've put Ciampa up against Jay Lethal, because Jay Lethal's almost in that Terry Taylor stage where he's gonna test them, and he'll tell them whether this guy can meet the top dogs or not. That's the way I think that match.
We mentioned it. Yeah, we mentioned it earlier, David. Like the reaction from Silva too, and all was interesting.
Roman's not there.
We'll see how it plays out.
On Raw.
I think are they flip-flopping between him and Brock each week, is it? I think they're flip-flopping between him and Brock each week or something like that, yeah.
Which is fine with that.
Sharon, Mox is under contract with AEW, so as long as he's under contract with AEW, and I believe, how long is he going to be in contract for? Do you know offhand?
2027, I think.
Yeah, so and by then I think that ship will have sailed. Will the Shield reform ever? Maybe for a Hall of Fame.
They will for Hall of Fame. They will. They're definitely for Hall of Fame. But I think Mox, if you look at some of the interviews he's done and as to why he left WWE, understand why he done it. I don't like where he went with his character, obviously with AEW, with the whole deathmatch thing and the bleeding every time he takes a whip to the ropes. But I think if he can mend the fences with Triple H, because his problem was Vince, and the fact that they had just crappy storylines for him. He was just getting fed shite every week, and he got sick of it and he left. So I understand why he left. But if he can mend the fences with Triple H and he can come back and the Shield can reform, you're talking money, big money, if the Shield reform.
But the problem is, Dave, they're all at that age now. They don't have many years left in them.
It doesn't take many years, Keith. All it takes is for Triple H to send a message or a phone call, sit down with him, try and flesh it out, like he did with so many other people we thought never could. Look at CM Punk.
D-Generation X.
Look at CM Punk. We never thought Punk could come back.
Well, no, but I don't see Roman around in the next 5 years.
Till he was at the back doors of shows begging to be let in.
Anyway,
Bit of history. Let's go.
I'll leave it at that. Let's go with the history.
Tell me when I'm telling lies. Right, let's do a bit of history. 1998, ECW Living Dangerously took place at the Ashbury Park Convention Center in New Jersey. The highlight of the card saw hometown boy Bam Bam Bigelow defeat Taz to win the ECW Television Championship. And of course, you remember this is the one where they were put through the ring.
Well, they broke the ring,
Absolutely
wasn't it?
sensational.
Yeah, they put the corner,
Yeah,
put
they
through the
went
corner
right
of the
through
ring.
it.
Like.
Yeah, it was sensational. 2011, Johnny Curtis was declared as the winner of the 4th series of WWE NXT, and the brand was a talent show format. Curtis would go on the fine onto. I love the way they word this. Lasting fame in WWE as Fandango. I did like Fandango.
Summer Rae and Fandango.
1997. That's it. But I was also a big fan of No Way Jose, so I do like to put that out there.
Adam Rose as well. All of the musical people.
Rosebuds.
Yeah, the Rosebuds.
I was in the Trey Arena for No Way Jose and Austin Aries, and it was brilliant. That NXT takeover they did. It was sensational.
Yeah.
He got Austin Aries dancing to No Way Jose, and then Austin Aries beat the piss out of him. It was quality. 1997,
Anyway,
WCW Monday Nitro was held in the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia, the world famous Omni. This was the last wrestling event to ever take place at the spiritual home of WCW and previously Jim Crocker Promotions and Georgia Championship Wrestling. Mm-hmm. It was demolished 4 months later. Really, really upsets me when I see that. When I went to WrestleMania in Houston, the news they did it in was right beside the Astrodome, and the Astrodome had chicken wire around and was crumbling to the ground. It just they make me sad the way they just abandoned them, you know that way. I was nearly going to try and get underneath the fence and grab a brick. Would have loved to have a brick from the Astrodome, be cool. 2008, WWE officially returned the Cruiserweight Championship with Hornswoggle as the last recognized champion. The title was inactive until September 2016. When it was awarded to the winner of the WWE Cruiserweight Classic, TJ Perkins. Showing a little bit of that.
Remember him?
Sean at the end. Yeah. 2010, Angelo Poffo, the father of Randy Savage and Lanny Poffo, sadly passed away at the age of 75. And of course, 2019, we lost one of the greats in WrestleMania 2, the former WrestleMania headliner, King Kong Bundy, passed away at the age of 62. What a drop off after main event in WrestleMania 2 and that stellar cage match, and then just massive drop off. And of course, we've a fear, man. This is crazy. 2013, Paul Bearer passed away as a result of a heart attack. The Undertaker's in his hometown of Mobile, Alabama, age 58. That's all he was. And Ray Fernandez, better known as WrestleMania 3, who could forget the chain match with Billy Jack Hayes in WWE, died as a result of heart failure, age 46. I think when you look back at Hercules, you would not be surprised that he died of a heart attack, being honest. Still very, very sad. 2007. Where am I? 2007, former WWE and Stampede Wrestling star Alan Coage. Bad news. Alan died of heart failure at the age of 63. Couldn't avoid these deaths, lads. That's just the way it is. Notable birthdays for this week. One member of the Undisputed Era, one of the greatest factions in NXT history. 1987, Kyle O'Reilly. 1986, the man who was missing from the New Day and sadly missed Big E. 1965, Sucker Booker T. 1981, a guy I thought had starred and written. Him and Trevor Murdoch, one Lance Cade, who sadly passed away very, very young. Mike Von Erich, 1964. And don't forget, Kevin Von Erich, folks, is confirmed for WrestleCon as well. Great chance to meet one of the lasting Von Erichs. Definitely pay him a visit. 1960, Deborah Marshall. 1986, Dalton Castle. 1990, Jordine Grace. 1971, Val Venus, a.k.a. Bren on a Saturday night with the towel. And 1976, the man who was formerly known as Mr. Kennedy, Mr.
Anderson.
1976 day of this week. Hope you enjoyed the show, folks. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, hit the bell notification button, and drop a like on the video. I will be back tomorrow night with Thursday Tier Talk, where we have a lot to talk about. New offside rules potentially coming in, and lots of other good stuff with Darren, who will be joining me. We'll take you through the FA Cup. We'll take a look at the League of Ireland, and also we'll be looking at some other bits. Friday, I may have a watch along for the Wolves game, and Liverpool don't dare let me down. If you checked out my review of the match, I was very passionate this morning in the car, nearly putting my fist through the window screen while down it. So there you go. So anger levels were pretty high.
And folks, I will be giving you reels live from Tolka on Friday, because Pats are playing Shells live from Tolka. So I'll be there. I'll give you all the content I can on the match night, and then we've got Rovers and Shells on Monday. So 2 matches, 2 loads of content. So keep an eye on the shorts for that one.
Sounds really
good. The other half of my watch along on Friday night, my double watch along, is
keep an ear out for the voice. Yeah, keep an ear on the tannoy. You'll hear me now.
I will. I'll keep an ear out for the voice as well, and I'll be obviously watching those VAR decisions as well. Just saying. There we go. That's it then. Bren, of course, we will have the women's show tomorrow. Make sure you check that out with Emma and Sean. Sean Mack has promised he'll have some ECW content coming our way as well. We got a message off him today. He's under the weather, so we hope you're feeling a bit better, Sean. Lots and lots of content going up on a daily basis at this stage, folks.
WrestleMania, SmackDown.
I will have a preview out tomorrow. Yeah, I will have a preview well for the FA Cup game, Wolves versus Liverpool, for my sins. Even more therapy. Thank God wrestling's a bit on the up at the moment, because football's a disaster. So that's really it. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, there'll be content just going out on a daily basis now at this stage. The road to WrestleMania has truly begun. We are on the road to Vegas. Keep on that road with us. And we'll talk to you again real soon. Cheers, lads.
Good night. God bless.
Good night, everyone.
See you later.